Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. All right, so I am sitting here. It is literally the day before Labor Day, and no makeup, nothing. I am just tired, and I know that why not just come on here and well, those of you who watch on YouTube, let's put it that way. And obviously my reels will be created, and I'm gonna look a little less dolled up because like I said, I have no makeup on right now and I'm just tired. So here we are. I woke up this morning a little bit in a shame spiral, and because I kind of made a big deal about going to a friend's birthday yesterday, and then I didn't wind up going because I didn't plan correctly. I just got in my head about I think I just got in my head a little bit, but then I was also like, I just didn't plan. I didn't plan it correctly. So anyways, I didn't wind up going. And anyways, person's totally fine with it, but still, us women, I feel like we do this. I feel like we just go into these emotional spirals, and it's like you can't get yourself out of them sometimes. So just kind of wanted to presence that and just remind you guys, like, I'm a human. We're all human out here. We all endure same similar emotions. So yeah, just just know I feel it too. But I just took this morning when I woke up to really connect with myself. I spent a lot of time just laying in bed, meditating, on my thoughts and my feelings and the emotions, like I said, that were popping up around this. Like, why am I feeling this way? Is it connected to something else from the past where I have felt the similar situation? Or why did I choose, like, not to go when I still could have gone later in the day yesterday? I don't even know. Anyway, so I just was, was just having a lot of thoughts and bringing awareness to it. And I was like, shameful Sally. I think I was taught that if you identify, like, label, like, name your emotions and your feelings, then it almost helps to just like acknowledge them and process them and then be able to move through them easier because you're actually giving it a name versus dismissing it. So for example, like, if you were angry, and this anger was built up inside of you, you could call it like angry Alice, because otherwise, typically what we do, we dismiss it and we just don't pay any attention to it, which is actually voiding and dismissing. And if you think of your emotions and your inner child as an actual human being, then if you treat that inner child and those emotions like you would a human being, meaning if you treat it like someone has treated you in the past of dismissing you, not acknowledging you, of things like that, then you're doing the same thing. And so you continue the loop and the pattern and the programming that your caregivers, your parents, siblings, whomever you were raised around, what they did. So, how do you course correct so that you can start to reprogram the way that you're showing up and in the future, like actually correcting the generational programming? So, it does start with you. It definitely starts with you. And so, I hope that that just gives you a little bit of insight. Maybe you're like, that's kind of weird to be like talking to myself. But that's the best thing that we can do, because if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, then you're not going to have a good relationship with other people. It's just a matter of fact if you can't fully communicate with yourself. So over time, I've been learning to communicate better with myself. And like, honestly, I think that this is just like the best thing that you can do to amplify how you communicate with other people. So I don't do it all the time. Of course, again, I'm human and I have a way of stuffing my emotions down, but I do notice when they start to rear their ugly head and I'm projecting my anger, disappointment, sadness, grief in any form onto other people or situations, and it doesn't make me feel good. So I just sat with those emotions this morning and gave it that name. What was it? Shameful Sally. And just was like, what can I do for you today? And I just kept, and I even went to like chat GPT and was like, what, or I Googled, I guess, like, how do you get out of a shame spiral? And it was just like, show yourself compassion. So that's what I did. I continued to lay there for a little while. And then started listening to one of my mentors, Maddie Madison Del Maso. She did a master class this past week on purpose. And so I was reminding myself, it was very helpful reminders, are you living in purpose? Her key tips were basically, find your core values. Like, what do you value most in life? And she even mentioned to like do an audit. Like, okay, so let's say you value travel, kindness, trust, health, wealth. Let's say you value all of that. Well, take an audit of your life right now. Are you doing things in alignment with all of those values? If you are not, then you got some work to do, as she said. If you are, great. If you don't know what your values are, then you can like go on ChatGPT, you can go on Google and read from a bunch of words. Like just, ask them. I like ask chat GPT or Google, like, what are some values? Like, give me a list of 100 values. And then you can go through there and pick what values resonate the most with you or which ones you want to start implementing into your life. And then what actions can you take from there to live in purpose with your values? Because what she was saying is that anyone who is in alignment with their values is living a purpose-led life. And I thought that that was a beautiful reminder. I've definitely heard that before, but I needed that reiteration because I was thinking about my life and there are certain things I feel like I'm not in alignment with. I have a tendency, and I'm aware of this, that I don't always practice what I preach. I have the awareness when I'm not doing it, and give myself grace and compassion, of course, when I'm not living in alignment. But also I ask myself with that grace and compassion, it's like, okay, well, Kelly, like, why are we playing small? Why are we holding ourselves back? Why are we not in alignment? What are the lessons that maybe could be learned still? What are the gifts that I need to receive still in order to walk a more intention-filled life? So anyways, after doing that, then I started like just picking up and tidying up my house a good bit. I feel like that is really good for the soul as well. And compassion, just showing myself compassion. I just reorganized a few things. Like I said, tidied up a bit, and it, like, looking at my space, I was like, oh my God, it feels just so much better because it's like declutter, like not as much clutter anymore in certain ways. And yeah, it just felt really good. So cooked myself a really nice breakfast, went outside and laid by the pool for a little while and was observing all the like families and their kids because I live in a condo complex. And then I started reading The Body Keeps Score, which is about trauma and like having awareness of why we experience trauma, how our body holds trauma, all of that. And it was just really good. It is a very good book. I started reading it about a year and a half ago and I never finished it. So I wanted to like sit down and read more of it because I feel like things that are popping up for me lately are stemming from past traumas, and it could be big T or little t. So I wanted to really dive into that, and have a better understanding, because the more that we understand things, the more that we can do with that understanding and that knowledge. So I think it's beautiful. But yeah, so I've just kind of been laying around, and that's why I was like, I don't want to get ready. Like, I don't want to put makeup on. I just want like real, like, let's just have some real talk. If you were sitting here, like, like sitting on my couch, right? Like, we're just having some real talk. I didn't want to like get all dolled up to just wipe it all off. So if you see me on YouTube, here we are. I did pull my hair back though, because it was looking crazy after being all like curly wavy from the pool. But yeah, so I wanted to mention something else too. I I've been thinking, and I know that I have said this before, but doing more like solo episodes. I will bring on guests still. I'm definitely bringing on a guest probably in the next like week or two around peptides. She's an Atlanta local friend of mine, and I'm actually very excited to talk to her. She's like an expert with peptides and so much knowledge. She has medical background and she's just extremely expert in the wellness space. And I really appreciate that and respect that. So I'm going to bring her on because I learned a lot. Her and I had a sit down about a month ago. And I was like, can you help me a little understand? Because obviously, like peptides and, like Ozempic, like all of that is very controversial and would love to get your expert knowledge on all of this. And it was extremely eye-opening. And anyways, so we're going to have her on the podcast soon. But I wanted to share something else with you guys. So the solo episodes probably won't be too long unless I am sharing a pretty in-depth story, which that tends to happen too. But I am going, I asked Chat GPT. I am like a fan of Chat GPT right now. I keep asking it all kinds of questions. But anyways, I was like, what is the number one issue that women ages 25 to 34 struggle with? And I set it at that age range because that is my number one age range on Instagram. And that is the age range that I was in when I experienced a lot of challenges, from career to relationships to abandoning myself, money issues, health issues. I mean, granted, we're still on a journey with all of that, but just really pivotal moments in my life were during those ages. So I feel like if I went through it, potentially you guys are going through it too. And anyways, so they said, ChatGPT, the number one problem that women ages 25 through 34 in America often struggle with is balancing career ambitions with personal life, particularly managing the pressures of achieving professional success while also meeting societal expectations around relationships, family, and self-care. It's big. It's huge. This age group is often navigating significant life changes. We're turning 30, people are getting married, they're having kids, or they're choosing not to, or they're advancing in their career, things like that. Yes, so this age group is often navigating significant life changes, including career advancement, establishing financial independence, and considering or managing family planning, which can create stress and feelings of being overwhelmed. Additionally, the challenge of maintaining mental and physical health amidst these demands is also a prominent concern. It's like we're constantly juggling all the things: career, relationships, finances, home life, our health, mental and physical health, exercise. Like, it's a lot. And I get it. I 100% get it. Like I said, I went through a lot of different pivotal, I can't say that word, pivotal experiences in my life that really changed me. So I totally get this. The mental health. I'm going through this right now, even like it's a constant battle. I work a lot. I do work a 9 to 5, but it's not even like, y'all, I probably work more than 40 hours a week because there are some times I get home and I'm still doing emails until 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night. And at that time I should be, eating and or getting ready for bed so that I can get to bed by 9 o'clock and get up in the morning. And because I love working out in the morning. And sometimes if I stay up too late, then either I will get up, but I'm only on like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. And then I'm kind of running on fumes all day, or I stay up too late and then I don't, and I sleep in until 8 a.m. And then I'm like rushing around trying to get ready for work and everything. So it is my biggest key. And again, I'm going through a little bit of this struggle right now, but the biggest thing that I can remind us of is boundaries. And what I was saying earlier, I'm glad that I had the beautiful reminder about the living a more purpose-led life, because with that, you're going to have alignment. So if you're attuning to your core values, walking in alignment, then you will be putting up boundaries because you're like, this is what I'm wanting. These are the steps that I need to take to get there. I need to walk in alignment, do these behaviors that are going to get me there, and everything else has a boundary around it. I even sat down today and started writing some of my book that I have been writing for 2.5 years now, I feel like. It's a process of putting up boundaries. Like, I know that having a book is going to literally change my freaking life. It's going to change my life. Whether one person reads it, hopefully it changes their life. But all that to say, I listened to that masterclass. It put some pep in my step. I started writing some more to my book. I actually kind of changed my book around of what I was like the pre-notion of my book. But the boundaries is a beautiful thing. So everyone listening, please, maybe as your takeaways from this episode, don't try. Go take out a sheet of paper, write down your values. If you don't know them, go to ChatGPT or to Google, pull up a list of words that are values and do the same thing that Maddie is having me do. Go through and see which words resonate most with you and what actions, and then build like a little tree from there and be like, okay, well, what actions do I need to take in order to be in alignment with health? Do I need to go work out do I need to join a gym or join class so that I can attend different studios, or just go to the gym in my apartment complex 3 times a week? What do you need? Or go for a walk 5 times a week? It's like, what do you need to do in order to be in alignment with those values so that you live a more purpose-driven life? And what boundaries do you need to put in place so that you can focus on that living more intentionally? Boundaries are beautiful. They hold so much respect when you have boundaries in place. Sorry, I'm not available for that. For example, earlier today, it's 6:30 right now on a Sunday, like I said, before Labor Day, and nobody has to work tomorrow, right? Some of my guy friends, they're going out, and they're like, hey, if you want to just like come over, hang out for a minute, and then we'll go out and we'll like decide from there where we're going to go. And like the old me would have been like, yeah, like let's go. But again, having those helpful reminders today, I was like, no, I'm actually like working on some things. I had to do the podcast recording, or I wanted to. I don't say had to, but I wanted to. I wanted to do the podcast, get this to my team so they can get it out tomorrow morning. We're running a little bit late, so I am going to keep this short so it's not terribly super long for them to edit. But regardless, like, I put that boundary up. And plus, like I said, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to exhaust myself, because then let's say I were to go out, even if I didn't drink, but I was just like out and about around all the people and the energy and everything, I feel like I would be tired tomorrow. And I kind of want to be a little productive and go for like, just be outside, go for a walk, go for a hike or something. And then we start work again on Tuesday. So, and it's a pretty busy week. I go to Switzerland in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. Like, literally, I will be in Switzerland in 2 weeks from today. And I cannot wait for that. Can't wait to share everything with you guys. It's funny because I told someone recently, I was like, I have so much content in my phone. Like, I've taken so many pictures. I have like so many content ideas, but then putting them into fruition and getting them out to my social media, perfectionism has like paralyzed me. Not gonna lie, perfectionism has paralyzed me. I'm like, oh, it won't look that great, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I kind of make up excuses, and then the content just never goes on my social media. So that is something that I'm kind of working on myself, but I know that I need to be more intentional with that too, because that is also going to change things in my life as well. So anyways, but I'm excited to share a bunch of content when we're in Switzerland with you guys. Share the hotels that we're going to be staying at, recommendations of like what we did to put our trip together. That'll come after. I'm going to do like a whole recap episode once I get back from Switzerland, and share all of that information with everybody. So if you ever have a chance to get over, or if you're intentional with your values and your purpose, then you will maybe add Switzerland to your bucket list and make it a priority to earn more money so that you can get over there. But yeah, anyways, all that to say, values, boundaries, that will help you to navigate these issues and the struggles that you face during this time of your life. If you're having, you're trying to balance your career ambitions with your personal life, I totally understand that. If you have a career or your business that you really love, but you're spending so much time in it that you're neglecting friendships, or that you wish that you had friends to go hang out with, like, then that's where you need to focus. Like, you want to build maybe community. Maybe your new friends um, are other entrepreneurs or other high career professional people that are very like-minded, so that you can continue to elevate each other in your journey. Just a thought. If you're neglecting a relationship, you're neglecting dating, things like that. Like, I mean, I know I'm guilty of that sometimes too. Like I said in a previous episode, I am kind of dating. But, I prioritize when I need to, and I prioritize my business and my career also. I prioritize my friends. Like, if there's something going on with my friends, I will say this though, it has to be on my calendar. Like, you can't say, Kelly, let's do something sometime, because most often I'm not gonna be the one to be like, okay, yeah, like, I'll call them in 3 weeks and be like, hey, let's put something on the schedule. I mean, sometimes, yes, I will. But it's like when we talk about it in that moment, it's like, hey, let's look at our calendar right now because I'm busy and I need to put it on my calendar right now. Or in 3 weeks from now, we're gonna have this exact same conversation. And if we don't put it on the calendar then, it's still not gonna happen. So yeah, just got to be better about boundaries, prioritizing all of that, and living in alignment. So anyways, I guess I'm just like regurgitating a bit of what Maddie, my mentor, was saying on during her masterclass, her purpose masterclass, because I thought it was extremely beneficial for me this morning. So I thought that would be beneficial for you guys to learn that. And then adding the boundaries part. I think that is so necessary that we have boundaries in place. Because I promise, to balance all of that, that's what you need. You have to have intentionality and like actions moving, like, what is it? Inspired, like aligned, inspired actions and boundaries. And those two things together will create your dream life. You will live in purpose. You will not have too many qualms. You will live a very purpose-led life. And detaching yourself from outcomes, because things could change and you never know what, the divine plan is, of course. But I think that if you have an itch to get something, have something, become something, then if you start to take actions in that, what you're wanting, and putting boundaries in place so that it doesn't distract you from getting to what you want, then you'll get there sooner than late. Then you will get there sooner than later. You really will. Anyways, I think that's all that I had for today. I hope that this was helpful. And just want to say you're doing an awesome job. Like, all of you listening, I appreciate you. I respect you. And I am so grateful that you keep showing up for the podcast. I know it's been all over the place sometimes, but that's my brain. That is my brain, but I really am grateful for you. So thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.